Welcome back, everybody, to part number 20, I don't know, 22 on Blue Van, the 1990 Dodge Grand Caravan LE. And today we are going to start out, I think, with her first oil change interval since I bought it. Like, I bought it back in 23 or 2 or whatever the heck it was, long time ago. Changed the oil. That's the oil that's in it right now. I think we even put a bunch of seafoam in it, because remember how bad it used to tick? I've also noticed the one lifter tick is kind of back when it's hot, but we're going to change the oil. It's due, I think, what was it, 273, and it's been at least 2 years. And right now we are at 275,958. Just drove it home from work, so it's still warm. Almost to 276, so we're going to call the next oil change 270 or 280, I suppose. That'll be 4,000 mile interval. See if she makes it there. Should. And then after that, we've got 3 motor mounts back there, and I think I'm going to change them all quick. Quick, I'd say, but we're going to get those motor mounts changed. I want to make sure that we eliminate any sort of shake coming from those. And after that, I think I'm going to drive it a little more, and then I think I'm going to go and get the tires balanced on this, because I don't see any weights on these at all. I don't think I ever balanced them. I think the plan was to bring them in for an alignment and balance, but I think I'll take the tires off, I'll bring them in a discount, drop them off, just have them balance them quick. But let me get this oil change done real quick, and I'll bring you back when we're done. Alright, 5 quarts of fresh 5W30 and a fresh filter on it. We were a quart low when I emptied out the old oil, so this should help a little bit. And yes, it needed changed. Come on, oil pressure. There it goes. Good. Should come way up too, because it's fresh oil. Should. It's climbing. Slowly. How does she sound? Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Alright, that motor mount is out. I've got a jack under the engine with a wood block on the pan. Lifted it up. Was able to unbolt it, no problem. And here's our guy here. And I can move him side to side. He's pretty bad. Honestly, it's not as bad as I've seen. But if you take a look there, that is the original motor mount. That is a Pentastar on there. So odds are that is the original motor mount with 276,000 miles on it. So that ought to be a little better. And I'm assuming if the easy mount to do is original, the other two are definitely original. So that also, we'll see if that trans mount's original too. Almost guarantees that that transmission's still the original one, like I think it is. So we'll see. We're going to do this one next because that's the second easiest. That's the hard one because it's kind of buried in there. So I'll throw that on quick and move on to the next. Alright, well, we got the second motor mount out, and well, this just got more difficult. As you can see there, those are welds. And those are welds. And that's a screw. So somebody been here before, clearly. I don't see a Pentastar in this motor mount. I don't see one anyway. It's old. It's definitely old, and it's definitely shot. But somebody been here, and somebody, I don't know, it looks like it's missing tabs on this side, so I wonder if they broke the tabs off and just frickin' welded it, or what they did. But now I gotta either, I think I'm gonna try grind these off because I don't want to drive. I've got another one of these brackets, but it's not here, you know, because why would it be? But yeah, that's unique, I guess, right? Whatever. I win. Well, I got mine in, and I don't need to weld mine, but there was only one tab on this side, but it's in. Alright, third mount is out, and if you look right about there, there's a Pentastar, just barely embossed there. So, that is, again, an original mount. I'm pretty sure the front one was also original, just the Pentastar wore off the rubber. So, we'll get that swapped over real quick, and we should be good to go. I've got the tire appointment scheduled for 11:15 a.m. tomorrow, so that'll be awesome. That'll be all done. in theory, the shake that I've been feeling should be gone if we fixed everything, because everything's been replaced. Literally. CV axles, tie rods, control arms, wheel bearings, brakes, tires, wheels, and now motor mounts. So there should be nothing odd except for the alignment, which I eyeballed, which honestly is pretty close. All right, transmission mount is all back in place, and we're good to go. So hopefully that addresses most of the shake, and then hopefully tomorrow the wheel balance takes care of the rest of it. I'm going to take it for a drive here. I'm actually going to go and pick up the rear seat and the rear bumper, and it'll be a good road test here just to see the improvement before, we get the tires balanced, like I said. Also, I think I'm going to get the spare balanced as well. Why not, right? All right, let's see how she does here. Still definitely shaking a bit there. But that feels like an out of balance wheel shake. Yeah, this feels miles better, to be honest with you. That's definitely what's left of a wheel shake. Oh, that is so much better, actually. Yeah, definitely a shake in it, but it's a lot better. Yeah, that's a wheel shake right there. Good. That is way better. Oh yeah. Yep. That's not bad at all. Good, so we should have this sorted tomorrow. Aside from the alignment, which honestly, I'm telling you, I got that alignment pretty nailed. But we'll see when I actually get around to getting it aligned. I don't know that I'll get to it this year. I don't think I'll do the alignment until the bodywork's done. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we'll see. You never know. But it's looking good. Yeah, this is so much better. I just drove this home from work today, and right now it's just above 70. I'm doing about 68, 69 right now. The speedo's a little fast, just because the tires I got on. About shake your teeth off at this speed, and right now I'm doing that. This is mint. Like I said, it drives freaking straight too. So, yeah, this is so much better. A little bit of tire balance, and she should be freaking tight. So, we're driving into tornado warnings, I believe, that way right now. So, that's good. I should be all right, but, yeah, this is nice. Should be able to keep up with traffic a little better, too. Because what, 75 should be just above 70, which is what traffic does. So, yeah, we're cruising. Wow. Yeah, I think the last time it felt this nice was before that U-joint on that intermediate shaft this thing used to have for the right CV ripped itself apart on my way back from Peoria, Illinois, back in 2023. That was the first big trip I took on. It was down to Peoria, Illinois, and it started shaking my teeth out on the way back. It was good going there, but yeah, way back was not good. Whatever. She's all fixed up now. I'll see you guys when we get back at the house with the bumper and the seat. I guess I can't keep up with traffic. That guy's flying. Indiana plates on that car. Little Camry, he's probably doing 80. So, first time that's had two seats in it, and I guarantee you 20 years. Since prior to 2006 or whatever, when the guys I got it from got a hold of it, because they use it as it was a beater hauler shop truck, essentially is what it was for that body shop. But she's got two seats in her again. Definitely not perfect, but hey, it's a seat. Bumper's in here. I also had the front little lower plastic piece on the bottom of the front bumper in there, so I can put that on too. I don't have it quite locked in. The paint I have on the floor here for those hooks is making it hard for it to push all the way forward, so I'm gonna have to take those plastic covers off and gently persuade it with a hammer to get it to lock in. But it looks good sitting in there. That's awesome. Just wait until that bumper is on right here. It'll make this van look so much better, even before we fix it and do all of the bodywork to make it look like 90% of what it should be. Look at that. That's scary. I think the rain is here. Listen to that. Time to go. Yep, time to go. Let's go. Lights on. Windows up. Let's get out of Dodge. That was cool. Let me a good old rainstorm. Thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm, actually. Judging by the 10 National Weather Service warnings I got earlier. Oh yeah, it's windy. Oh yeah. It's dragging me. Here we go. Oh yeah. Okay, maybe I stayed a little too long. I guess you guys could stick around for this as we drive through this storm. Oh yeah. I'd have been home too before it if I didn't stop there either. I'd have just made it home. Coming down good. Yeah, the great part is I'm going to be trapped in this van while this storm goes on once I get in the driveway. Unless I want to run, and I don't know if I'm keen on that. Anyway, great. Almost 276. What is that? 275, 989. I'll see you guys in the morning sometime. Well, there they are. 4 tires, or 5 tires, all balanced. Discount Tire got me. Usually it's like $10 or $11 a tire, like last time I went. And they got me for $20 a tire. And the only reason I still did it is because I was literally there and I had an appointment. But that's excessive, because they did it in 15 minutes. I went to the Fleet Farm next door to do some shopping for some supplies, and I should have just had them do it. But whatever. They're balanced. They said the spare is bent. Did we know that rim was bent? Because I put it on the spare. That had to have been intentional. I don't remember. But they said that rim was bent. They still Did they balance it? I think they must have, right? Because they charged me for it. I don't see any weights on it, though. Did I get... Nope, there's a weight on it, so it is balanced, but they said it's bent. But whatever, like I said, it's a spare. I probably knew it was bent. But, yeah, we've got 4 balanced tires, so we're going to throw them on there. And I think while I've got it the way it is here, I'm going to try slice that bumper. No, Dakota is going to slice that bumper off for me. And we're going to see if we can't get that new one mounted. Hopefully I have some hardware. What are you doing? Okay. Well, at least get the tires on it quick. I say that because it's sinking into the ground. But, you know. Perfect conditions for a jack and a jack stand. Right there, the wet, muddy gravel. But yeah, I guess I'm happy with it. It's $100 to have it done. It's done. I don't have to worry about it. But tell you, them tire balancing machines are getting more and more appetizing. I'd love to get me an old Coates one, but everybody and their mother wants one, so good luck finding them. But okay, so I'm not usually a fan of steering wheel covers, and I still really am not, but this wheel needed a cover. So I got this. It was $9.99 at Fleet Farm. It's a pretty thin one. It's not made of fabric or anything. It's made of like a rubber plastic sort of deal. It's soft. It's got grip spots on it. It was $9, and it fits that wheel pretty good. This you guys saw us clean this wheel, and it's it was owned by that shop, and this wheel was so full of like engine oil and grease that it like ruined the wheel. Not to mention the wheel's 35 years old, but this feels better because I got it as clean as I could, but it was still kind of sticky. But this that's a way better. And it doesn't look bad. That one doesn't look all that bad. I hate the giant foam ones or whatever. They get gross. This I can clean. Yeah, that looks good. That looks pretty good. All right, look at that. She's gone, deleted, mostly. I'm not gonna bother with the lower big bracket too much, but I do gotta cut those flush with the body, and then we're gonna grind this down a little bit, kind of fix, see that little bit of rust there. We'll knock that down and we'll paint and prime and treat that. And then we'll get the new bumper mounted up. I gotta see if I got some proper hardware for it, because it just bolts to these holes right there and there. And then that'll be that. Well, I got these all taped off here, and I got this one fixed about the best it's gonna be until I get myself a new corner. And that's just that and 3 self-tappers. But I figured I'd do that up because, as you can see with the tape, we're gonna paint them. I still got this can of blue that I've been using for touch-up and on the seats and stuff. So we're gonna paint them that color, at least for now. That'll get me through this year, because I don't think I'm getting to the bodywork this year. But I do believe we're ready for it next year. Getting the bumper on, getting that all fitted up, ready to roll, make sure that's good. It's fully functional, drivable. We've got all that all taken care of now. Next is bodywork. So that should happen sometime next year. But I figure we'll get this bumper on here, get this good to go. Then we're going to drive it for the rest of the year, put her away, and bring her back next year. And then we'll really tear into it. Hopefully I'm in a good spot to be able to do that. But for now, this should work. That'll look a lot better. The blue, I don't know. Here, is this the right? This is the right corner right there. I mean, that's not that bad, right? But it'll look better when it's the darker blue. So, figure why not, right? Why not? And who knows, maybe by next year, maybe I'll have some better doors. Because these doors are freaking beat, man. I don't know that, or it's going to be really good practice and training on how to do some really good body work. I mean, if you look at this paint, this thing is so wavy. And I'm not a professional by any means. In fact, I've never done a full sand down, primer, putty, fill everything sort of deal. I'll attempt at it, right? I'll definitely attempt. It'll be better than this. It'll be better than that. It'll be better. See this right here? There's no flat spot. This is all a curve when they did this quarter here. In fact, you can see where it's starting to crack. And mind you, this was done probably 15, 20 years ago almost. And the Bondo is just starting to crack up here, starting to crack apart here. But this whole quarter is made of, I don't know what it's made of, to be honest. We'll find out when we cut it, but it's supposed to be nice and straight like that, which the fenders we've got have that body line to it. We just got to cut this out, and I think we're going to panel bond them in. I don't want to have to try weld this thin metal. It may be a couple tacks here and there just to hold it, but I think we'll try the panel bond and a skim coat sort of deal. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when I get this all cut out, right? I'll back to work, get these painted. I can go look for some hardware. Might have to take a trip into town, get some new studs here. Maybe put a tack on those, tack those in. Get this ground down here flush. Get that all treated up too, and we'll get her on there. All right, I got that lower bumper scraper in. That looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. That's awesome. All right, we got the surfaces ground all the way down on both sides. I got all that rust knocked out here. As you can see, we found a big opening here. That's just an air vent for airflow. I'm gonna get these all painted up, and then I gotta go run in and get 4 new carriage bolts and nuts just like that. And we should be able to bolt the bumper up. And then those should be painted over there. They're looking good. I'll put another coat on them quick and then some clear, and we're good to go. All right, got a second coat of paint on that. Oh. Got a second coat of paint on that. She's all good to go there. And down here, I got the new hardware, and I tack welded it in because I don't have any of those like hold washer, whatever you want to call them, little clip washers. So got those welded on. The studs are in place. And if we come over here, I just got the clear coat on the plastic trim pieces, and they look good. About as good as they'll be for now. So I didn't even scuff them, I just shot over them. Couple coats of paint, that should be good. It'll look better for now. So I think the only thing we gotta figure out is those little plastic guys actually bolt into the body, and I believe it bolts there, if you see that hole, and there, if you see that hole. Well, that one ain't gonna work. That one might. And over here, I believe they've all been filled over. Correct. So I think I'm gonna chip back some of this fiberglass and see if I can find the holes, at least the one, to try line them up, and maybe make a bracket to bolt the other one in. I don't know yet, because those got to attach in some fashion. Otherwise, they'll just go flopping around, which we don't want that. I'll see what I come up with here. Well, I just rough fit that chrome bumper on there. Oh my gosh. That is night and day difference, guys. We know how bad this hatch is, but the eyesore was not the hatch. The eyesore was this. Look at that. Doesn't even have the little plastic side pieces, and that's $1 million right there. Wow, I just cleaned it up, kind of scrubbed it real quick, and that looks awesome. That is amazing. Huge, 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 huge upgrade. So I haven't really updated you guys in a while. I've kind of been busy working on it on and off. As you can see, I've got the black all painted there. That looks nice. As you can see, I've got a bumper test fitted. As you can see, I've got a trim there. I got that trim off the ground, but you see it's got tape on it. I've been doing some test fitting and checking and just kind of figuring out. We got to do some kind of customish work on these plastics here. Well, I might get away with what we've got. So what I found here, and I can take this right off here and I'll show you, is we only had one stud mounting hole. So I mounted it, and I tried, you can see these holes here, I tried fitting the bracket custom, because here's the other hole, we were talking about that. That's all that's left of it, right there. But I think if I get this one nice and tight, I get this tight, and I get this tight, I don't think I'll need to do that one, because I was having trouble with the bracket. Just kind of, what I had here is with that little bracket, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Surely you know exactly this bracket. What I had is I had a kind of a stud I made, if I can find it. It's on the ground, it broke. And I welded it, kind of tacked it to the bottom here. But I messed up the threads and it snapped off my little crappy weld. So that didn't work. But I was still trying to figure something out, because I'm like, well, I'll have to figure it out for both sides, because I have 0 holes. And so what I did is I took the other side with a tape, and I kind of got the bumper where I want it, and then I put the trim on, and then I taped it off, and then I also marked where it's going to be. And I went and I got it on, and I marked these holes here, right? So I had this hole, and then I had some Sharpie up here. And I'm like, well, see this putty here? There was putty all the way up over here. I'm like, well, I kind of see an indent. I think that hole's there. So I chipped back this putty here, and sure enough, there's the mounting hole. And I've got one stud left over that I saved. So we're going to put this stud in it, and I think we're going to get away with the same deal, putting a stud on both sides and just having the one, because the other one's down here, and I'm telling you, there's nothing there. I promise you, there is nothing but fiberglass there. But I think we're going to get away with that right there, and we should be able to mount those. So I think I'm going to do that, get everything loosely in here. I'm going to get the bumper where I want it. I think I'm going to tighten the bumper down, and then we'll put those on. I think we'll be good. I think we're fine. Honestly, I think we're fine. So I think I'll get it all tightened up tonight, and I think it's done. But boy, does that look so much better. Such a huge improvement. And that's even with all the nasty dinged, dented, bondoed rust everywhere. It looks like a van now. It just looks like an old van. That was an eyesore. Trust me. And now, once we get the hatch on and the new hood, and if I find some doors, I'd like to swap the doors and make it easier than trying to do body work on those, because they're rough. They're rough. We might be able to make something work, and then we'll still have to do the body work on the quarters and everything, and the rockers, and get all those skins done and fixed and working and in place, and then get this thing painted. Not this year though, not this year. I truthfully don't have the time for it this year, and I don't want to. I want to get this done, and I want to keep driving it. I haven't test drove it with the balanced tires yet, and I think that's going to end up being me going to work tomorrow, unless I get this done quick and take it out for a lap tonight. But I'll bring you guys along when I have that, do that test drive. I'll let you know when I'm done here and have this thing back on the ground. We'll take a good look at it in the dark, as it always is, right? Well, would you look at that? She's all done. Got ourselves some trims. Got ourselves a bumper. Even got ourselves a really old AAA sticker. Matches the patina. Most importantly, that spare tire you may or may not have seen there is gone. You know where it is? She's right there. And I even got the hubcap on it. So we got our spare tire that's bend. It is bend. And spare hubcap all up there. That looks good. Everything looks good. It's time to get this bad boy on the ground. That looks so freaking awesome. That's unreal. Yep, that is the biggest improvement we could have possibly made to the van. Right there. Blue van, how does it feel to have bumpers? SE bumpers, huh? Downgraded, I guess. Apparently chrome sucks. Plastic bumpers are more fancy. I don't know. I like the chromes better. Alright, back seat is in. I also took the opportunity, now that she's officially, once again, for the first time in probably, no, not probably, first time in 20 years, she's a 7-seater, like a minivan should be. I took the opportunity and I cleaned the back windows even on the slider and the hatch because they desperately needed it. I got the seat all scrubbed down kind of roughly, quickly. I got the box that was up there with all the random stuff in, kind of cleaned up, put back here. And I've been saving these for a while. I don't remember where I found them at U-Pull. I don't think they were from the van that the seat came from. This floor mat, the rear one, and behind the rear bench, there's a floor mat down there that this van I hadn't tracked down yet, but I found these sometime last year or something at some point. I've had them stacked on top of one of my storage shelves, just waiting. Here's the opportunity. They're in. I cleaned them up, did a quick vacuum, everything. Oh yeah, the seat. I cleaned the seat up. It cleaned up pretty nice. This is awesome. Look at that. She is cleaned up. She's a 7-seater. I did a quick vacuum of the whole rear and everything too. Look at that. As it should be. Those are all, because these are like 87 Caravan seats. That's an 87 bench. These 4 came out of the same van. That came out of, I think that was a 90. Well, you see, here's the thing. They're all vaguely the same. You had a couple options for trims. These were not the seats that were originally in it, this fabric style. But thankfully that one matched. It doesn't have the center bow like this one does. It really should, if it was from the same van, it'd have the center bow here with the like the vinyl. But it doesn't. But hey, it's a seat. It's there. It fits. It's in. It's blue. And I also got the blue ashtray here. It's still got the red trim, if you can see that. Because we had to put a red one in because I didn't have one at all. I had the blue tray. I guess I didn't get the trim, or it was broke or something. I don't remember. But we have that, so now it's just a contrast is what we'll call it. Yeah, she's pretty buttoned up. Obviously, we've got her steering wheel cover. I'm going to take this thing for a test drive. I'm going to see how it is. I'll probably bring it in tomorrow afternoon when I'm bringing it, because I'm going to drive it to work tomorrow, if all goes well here. And I'll bring it in tomorrow afternoon just to give you an update how she is. Otherwise, I think that's going to do it for Blue Van here. That's all the major work I wanted to get done. Major work I wanted to get done on it this year. Besides maybe bring it in for an alignment, but I doubt it. I'm just going to drive it now. I'm going to enjoy it now that it actually runs and drives and it doesn't shake, doesn't have any weirdness going on. And we'll just drive it, get through this year. We'll put her away for the winter as we do. And we'll bring her out next year. And I think we'll be back and we'll be getting some major body work done. Saying something doesn't happen that needs to get taken care of before that. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick update on Blue Van, the 1990 Dodge Grand Caravan LE that we saved from northern Minnesota, where it was pretty much destined for the scrapper, most likely. And I'll see you next time.
Saying that America sticks to the ball, but speaking just for me, and some people from Tennessee.